What is going on, everyone? It's Alex. How are we all today? I hope we are having a fantastic day. Yes, you read the title right. This is going to be a very controversial topic to a lot of people, but hear me out for a second. I will explain myself. And because this is going to be such a controversial topic and people aren't going to want to hear what I have to say, I'm going to do this in a slightly silly fashion to try to defuse the situation and de-escalate matters a little bit. Okay, much better. So yes, ATVs are more dangerous than dirt bikes, especially for kids and youth. And here is why. There are very good reasons why in the United States there is an age limit restriction on cc size and speed, etc. for buying an ATV for a child, for anyone under the age of 16 in the United States. And that is because time and time again, studies have shown, and real-world accidents and injuries and deaths have shown, that when you have an appropriate-sized dirt bike for a child or a youth versus an ATV, when they wreck them, even though it is more common to have a minor accident on a dirt bike, when a child or a youth falls down with a dirt bike or has an accident, typically the person goes one direction and the dirt bike goes the other direction. They'll be bruised, they'll be banged up, they might have minor injuries, but typically there's not a lot of extra damage done by the dirt bike. Typically, yes, there are exceptions, but typically not a lot of extra damage done by the dirt bike. The flip side of that, time and time again we have seen when a child or youth especially, and this is anybody, but especially when a young person wrecks an ATV, the ATV tends to get tangled up with them, and because of the additional size and weight, etc. to the ATV, it tends to cause a lot more overall damage if there is an accident. And these days, your modern ATVs have just as much, if not more, horsepower per average than dirt bikes do. So you're dealing with a machine that is bigger, heavier, and has just as much, if not more power. It only makes sense that it is going to cause more damage if there's an accident. Yes, it has four wheels under it, so it's less likely to fall over or to have an accident maybe, but kids get comfortable with them because of that fact, tend to go faster on them. And if you turn tightly on an ATV, I don't know if you've ever ridden one, you turn tightly on an ATV, typically you're going to roll the thing, and it's going to roll with you, and it is going to cause more damage. So for anyone under 16, for youth, for kids, and even for adults, really for anyone almost, a dirt bike actually in most cases, is going to be safer than an ATV. I know we don't want to hear that. I know ATVs are very popular because it got four wheels on it, it's easier to ride. That's great. I like them too. I had a Can-Am 500 Outlander. I loved that machine. That was really, really cool for crawling in the woods and doing stuff like that, as opposed to my dirt bikes and my hare scramble machines, which were more fun to run fast in the woods, but were not nearly as good for just, you going to want to spend a weekend camping and doing stuff with your friends. The ATV is a lot more convenient for that and a lot better for that. But it is pure absolute fact that for pure damage output, when you have an accident, an ATV is more dangerous than a dirt bike, especially for youth. I did a video on this a couple of years ago. It didn't get a lot of attention. I wanted to bring light to this topic again because I've recently received a lot of comments from younger people, like 10 to 14, 15 years old, on that video talking about how they can't convince their parents to get them a dirt bike instead of an ATV because the parents think the ATV is safer. That is not the case. If that were the case, there would be age restrictions in the US on the dirt bikes and not the ATVs. But there are very strict age restrictions on ATVs, and dealers will get fined $10,000 per case at least if they're caught selling an ATV to someone for an underaged rider. That's why it's that serious. People and kids have died wrecking ATVs because they got caught up in them and they did more damage. I'm not saying this to scare you. I like ATVs. I like getting kids into ATVs of the appropriate sizes because it's a great hobby. It's a great thing to get into, spend time with the family, spend time outside, keep them out of trouble they might otherwise be getting into. But I also think dirt bikes are the same thing. If you get an appropriate sized dirt bike and you spend the time with it, learn the skills and learn to be safe and wear the appropriate gear, helmets, boots, gloves, chest protectors, then dirt bikes can be an amazing hobby to get your kids into that's constructive, spends time outside, spend quality time with the family, and stay out of trouble you might otherwise be getting into as a kid if you're not doing something like that. So I think dirt bikes can be a great thing to get your kids into. You need to understand that just objectively speaking, dirt bikes typically are actually safer than ATVs, even though they're more likely to have an accident, fall down on them. It doesn't tend to do as much damage, so they can heal their bruises, heal their minor scrapes and stuff like that, learn and get back on it and keep doing it, okay? I hope that cleared some stuff up. I know I did a video on this before, but it's been a while. I wanted to do a whole fresh new one. I wanted to do it, like this because I've got no shame and I just like to defuse a situation and either make people laugh or make people think I'm ridiculous and just never watch me again. Either way, cool. I hope that helps someone. If you're some of my young viewers, show your parents this, explain it to them. This is why there are age limits, okay? If you're a young person, your parents want to get you into something off-road, it is actually going to be safer to get an appropriate sized dirt bike as opposed to an ATV, okay? That's it, guys. I'm Alex. Peace.